the main event. Brad Stutts and Cecil Scott are in the booth, and Cecil, I don't know if we have ever had a match with a big fight atmosphere like what we are seeing right now.
I really don't think you could ever think of a main event that is more appropriate of the term than we have right now. This is what I think of when I think of a heavyweight title.
Undeniably, Edsel, the most dominant Mid-Atlantic champion of all time, held the championship from November 2002 through the end of December 2003. 420 days as champion, 9 successful title defenses. Back in the day when we ran a lot fewer, a much lighter schedule, Arik Royal at 413 days as champion tonight makes his 19th defense of the championship, but we have never had a champion that defended that belt like Arik Royal has.
No, not at all. And Arik Royal is going to find himself in a very unfamiliar place right now. He is the smaller man for probably the first time in his title reign. And so far, Corey Edsel is keeping it a wrestling match. I think he's trying to show who the experienced veteran is here.
Of course, Edsel has dropped a tremendous amount of weight, gotten himself in tremendous condition for this high-stakes title match. I struggled for a minute to think of something that would be even bigger, because to call it high stakes almost does not seem fitting enough. This is the highest stakes of any match Edsel will ever have in his professional career.
Right, and it goes a lot deeper than the title. I mean, this is, and make no mistake, it's not just about Corey Edsel trying to protect his record. It is a lot more than that. This is Corey Edsel trying to reclaim his place at the top, not just of CWF, but of Mid-Atlantic wrestling. Corey Edsel dominated for over a decade, and there's a new generation now. And this is Corey Edsel trying to reclaim his spot.
That's exactly right. That new generation epitomized by the flag bearer of CWF Mid-Atlantic, Arik Royal. Of course, both these men much heavier in the early days of their career. Back when Edsel was the champion, he often weighed in at well over 400 pounds.
I wrestled him last year. He was close to 500. I mean, he got very big, and for his own health, for his own safety, he has dropped, like you said, just an immense amount of weight, got himself in a tremendous condition, not just for pro wrestling, but for life.
Something like 200 pounds, I think Edsel has dropped in the past 12 to 18 months. Gotten himself into what he says is the best shape of his life. But Cecil Scott, can that possibly be true with 10 plus years of a grueling schedule on your knees, your elbows, your neck, your back, your joints, your head? Edsel has suffered several concussions along the way. No matter how much weight you drop, no matter how much time you spend in the gym, can you possibly be in the best shape of your life after having 10 years of grueling heavyweight matches under your belt?
As far as the bones and the joints and all of that go, probably not. Cardiovascular-wise, yeah, I would say so. But it's kind of a double-edged sword. As we just saw with that shoulder tackle, he dropped all that weight 2 years ago. He would not have been dropped with a shoulder tackle.
And now he drops the champ with one. Edsel giving a look. Pace is quickening here. I gotta think the quicker pace favors Royal. Cover, only got 2 on it.
Undoubtedly. I mean, a grinding pace is what Corey Edsel wants. He is a high-impact, very Japanese-influenced heavyweight style. A fast-paced style is going to favor Arik Royal, no doubt. He's not a whole lot of years younger, but wrestling years, he is much younger.
Yes, shockingly, Royal is only a year or 2 younger than Edsel, but as similar as they are also so different. Their careers took completely different paths. Corey Edsel came into the sport as a 14 and 15-year-old kid when local promoters saw how quickly this big man could move, how agile he was on his feet. Local promoters rushed him into the ring. They could not get him trained as a wrestler fast enough to exploit his talents. Arik Royal, a military man, got into the sport relatively late in his life. He was already in his mid-20s when he got into the sport. Edsel got in at 15.
Oh, my.
And that really could be the difference, is all those years, cover from the champ, all those years, all that wear and tear on the body of Dangerous E could really be the difference here. Like you said, Cecil, Arik only a year or two younger in actual life, but in time spent in the sport, they are worlds apart.
Right, you couldn't ask for it'd be like a 40-year-old, you know, looking at a 20-year-old kid, if you want to put it in that perspective.
I tell Corey that all the time. We both drop kick, caught the champ, dazed him, sends him through the ropes. Champ was not expecting that big drop kick from the challenger.
He didn't quite get all of it. I think it was enough to really surprise Arik Royal, and it looks like, as you mentioned before, that knee of Corey Edsel might be giving him a little trouble there.
I've known Corey most of my life. We both broke into the sport as teenagers. And he tells me all the time, I feel younger than I've ever felt. I feel better than I've ever felt. To your point, Cecil, with all these miles on my body, I feel like a 40-year-old.
You and me both, brother, but...
Edsel swears up and down he feels 20 years old, but will his body last? Will his body betray him if this thing goes 15, 20, 25 minutes? Will he be able to withstand what no other challenger has been able to withstand, and that is the onslaught of Arik Royal?
Could be, but wrestling history is littered with stories of the old veterans that people thought were past their prime, that thought they were past it, and still found lightning in a bottle. They found one more run. You think of Hulk Hogan in 2002, where people thought he was done, and he had that memorable run. Can Corey Edsel find that kind of lightning in a bottle? You know, you think of, you know, somebody like a Jumbo Ceruto or a Hogan or Flair later in life. Do they have that extra, that one more run?
As we have touched on, Dangerous E Corey Edsel, not an old man. I believe he's 1 year younger than me. He's only 29 years old. But like I said, so many years, so many miles on that body. He avoids the champ.
Oh, great move.
Champ. Oh, God, you heard the thud, the smack on the floor, and the champion might be hurt. Referee Red Jones is going to check. A big break for Edsel there as he sends the champ crashing to the floor.
And Corey Edsel, you can tell the wear and tear is kind of getting to him, and it's just the look of a man holding on to his spot in the world. He is, you can tell everything in life is riding on his back right now in this match. But about what you said, he feels younger than ever. You know the old saying, you're as young as you feel.
Crowd here very split.
Well, you got to remember, they've been watching Corey Edsel here in CWF for upwards of 15 years now.
The big man does not want to win it on a countout. He will win or lose in the ring.
And there's that drop kick proper.
He got him right on the button there.
You know, let's be honest about it. It wasn't that long ago where we thought Corey Edsel might be done as an active pro wrestler. It was a couple of years ago where we really thought he was winding down. And just for him to be in this spot, to beat a very competent young rookie in Manny Garcia a few weeks ago. And Arik Royal still fresh enough and enough weight to block that suplex. Oh man, a hard whip there. And so far, Corey Edsel, we got a big,
could be the backdrop driver. No, Arik Royal knows he cannot let that backdrop driver happen.
Now, one of the most dangerous moves, spine buster.
Drilled him right in the center of the ring. Gibsonville, 240 strong, came up on the spine buster, but Edsel cannot make the cover.
I've been on the other end of that Edsel spine buster before.
The question of the bout, the question of every Arik Royal title defense is, can the challenger withstand the onslaught that Arik Royal brings? So far, none have. Trevor Lee, Andrew Everett, Matty de Nero, Zane Dawson, Ric Converse, Chet Sterling, Manny Garcia, among the challengers that have lined up in the past 413 days that Arik Royal has knocked down.
But he has not faced anybody with the kind of seasoning and experience of a Corey Edsel.
Edsel trying to take the champ to the floor here. Royal elbowing out.
One thing Edsel is great at is making somebody wrestle his pace. Oh, he tripped him.
Royal takes a hard tumble to the floor.
And Corey Edsel's not just a bruiser, he is an intelligent wrestler. But you've known him longer than I have. I've been in the ring with him enough to know that he is as smart as anybody.
I want to say I've known Corey since 1997 or 1998 when we were 13 and 14 years old. So over half of my adult life.
And Corey Edsel really has this in a good place right now. He's got a grinded out pace going. They're gonna bring him in hard way.
Ooh, champ trying to get out. No! Took the challenger down. Arik is not letting Corey have any of his big offensive maneuvers. Could not let him have the backdrop driver. Oh my God! Oh! Belly to back! And the challenger is down and hurt. Champ is on top. 2-2.
Couldn't get a whole lot of weight on that shoulder, but he had the right idea. And Corey Edsel still trying to shut out whatever's bothering him right now. You can tell something's hurt on him. I think it's still that leg.
Royal making his 19th defense of the championship right now. If he lives to see a 20th title defense, then the era that ended tonight will be that of Corey Edsel's legendary record. If this is the last night for Arik Royal as champion, then it will be his era that has ended here in this huge title fight.
Screw!
The champ is on top of the challenger here.
We got a figure four leg lock?
Yes, we do.
That's a big old legs to get in that figure four. And now we got a cover? Does the desperation set in for Corey Edsel?
We talked about the concentration earlier in the tag team championship match. Edsel's concentration will have to be keen. He cannot leave those shoulders on the canvas. Red Jones is right there with the count. We have seen it happen over the years. Guys lose their concentration and get beat in a flash.
That's right. I remember Barry Windham lost the NWA title with that exact same moment. He lost concentration in a figure four and got counted out.
It is clear what the fans have come to see. This heavyweight title fight. Edsel grabbing a hold of referee Red Jones. Red has got to do his job in there.
And Edsel trying to pull Arik Royal and get to the ropes. And I knew Arik Royal would have to wrestle a different kind of match than he wrestled against Trevor Lee. He has adapted well.
He's got to break the hold. Red Jones has got to pull them apart. Putting a count on the champion.
That's a little salty by Arik. He knew what he was doing, though. He knew he had that count. And he go right back to that leg.
Arik Royal wants to maintain his potentially record-setting title reign. Oh, good Lord. We will see aggression from the champion. We have seen it in all 18 previous title defenses.
And that's what Arik Royal brings in Spades. That's why to this day I have not picked against him in a title defense. I always say you have to beat the champion for me to want to pick against him. And Edsel heading up. I have seen him use a splash from the middle rope.
Misawa, oh!
He went for that Misawa frog splash.
Did not get it. And Edsel is hurting in the ring.
He kind of, I don't know if that was a well-advised move.
Champ going to the top rope. Unusual for the champion. Oh, no water in the pool on the cross body block. The veteran presence of Dangerous Z would not allow him to hit that cross body block.
He knew enough, he knew where he was well enough to get out of the way. But I think Corey Edsel had one of those moments where he realized it's not 2005 anymore. Ooh, he likes the punches.
Beautiful. He is drilling the champ.
Oh, and that big haymaker right hand. He studies a lot of George Foreman just to learn the form on those punches.
You talk about George Foreman, he made an incredible comeback and became the heavyweight champion. Can Dangerous Z do it here and leave the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium with the belt? Backdrop driver, it's gonna be it! Oh! He got him with it! 1, 2, 2!
That's
only 2.
One of his favorite moves. He's won a lot of matches with it.
Corey is asking Red Jones. Red Jones confirms that it was 2.
And not a whole lot of guys that kicked out of that backdrop driver. Arik Royal's got to dig down into another place. Does he go for it again? Does he go for something else?
Sends the champ into the buckle. Oh, God!
He didn't go down. His pride won't let him go down, but he goes down a second time.
Some fans are calling for beast mode. Some are calling for Corey Edsel. Oh, got him!
Did he get the butt in the corner? Beast mode right on the back.
Edsel has had trouble with the back cover. 2. No, sir, no. Only a 2 count.
And if you recall, it was the back and the neck that nearly retired Corey Edsel. Go for a Uranagi?
Maybe that big exploder. Whatever it was, Edsel knew he could not let him have it.
Oh, hard forearm.
Both these men are struggling to hold the Mid-Atlantic Championship. One man will raise it above his head tonight. One man will go home a loser, having his place in history possibly erased.
And as far as Corey Edsel is concerned, losing is not an option here. He glanced that right hand.
Oh, God! You heard the sound bounce off the walls of the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium. Oh! Great punch from Edsel, but both men are down. A desperation punch from Dangerous Z.
He took that Enziguri like a champ and came right back with that right cross. And you saw the spit fly out of the mouth of Arik Royal.
Seems to be about 60-40 for the champion.
There's a cover.
1, 2, no, sir, no.
And it's the, like I said earlier, grinded out pace. It's not a wrestling match, it's a survival.
The next big move could net one of these men the championship. Could be the haymaker. He ducked it.
Oh, the tackle.
Edsel turned inside out by the football tackle, but again, the champion cannot make the cover.
He managed to duck that wind out haymaker lariat. Will this be enough?
1, 2, 2. Edsel still alive.
The clock is still ticking. Aric, oh my God, I can't even talk, Brad Stutts.
The champion now is in the position of what do I need to do to put this challenger down?
Nice reversal there by Edsel.
Spinebuster did not get a second one. Ducks the lariat.
Exploder!
Oh, God, dropped him right on his head, neck, and shoulder. Red Jones is checking the challenger. Challenger has got to pull himself off the mat, and he is doing it right now. Sick kick. Edsel is down off the sick kick.
Edsel keeps finding a way to claw his way back up, but how many more shots can he take like that?
Edsel is coming back up. The sick kick has beat so many people in the last 13 months, but Edsel is pulling himself back up for more. I've got a second one. Challenger is down. And Arik Royal is still the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship after a grueling championship bout. Arik Royal breaks the record. Arik Royal.
And still CWF Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion, Arik Royal!
Look at the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion who will enter his 14th month as champion. Who can knock Arik Royal off the mountaintop?
If Corey Edsel couldn't do it, you have to wonder who can.
We thank you so much for joining us as the era of Dangerous E. Corey Edsel, 13 months and 25 days as champion, has ended. Arik Royal will eclipse that title reign and head into month 14. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you at the PWI Tag Team Tournament.